What is up, everybody? We are back. I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. So Smothered Season 4, Episode 9 has aired. This is Part 2. So I want to talk about breastfeeding. Now, this is obviously a subject that I don't know much about, but we watched a scene with Lauren, Lisa, and Lorelai regarding Reagan and breastfeeding, and they were united. So Lorelai and Lauren are united on breastfeeding, but when they go over to Mimi's house, Lisa's house, she has stocked up on formula. And as we were listening to Lauren, it is very stressful and hard to breastfeed because no one can help you do that. You are feeding that baby 24/7. Every minute of the day that they need to eat is completely on you. So we were hearing how stressful that is for her, and she's not able to sleep and she's not able to ask for help in this situation. So Lisa said, start supplementing more formula. So apparently Lorelai is against formula. So in my opinion, I feel like formula is regular milk, and then like breastfeeding is organic or all natural, right? So that's kind of the lines of it. It's just better for your baby. It's better for development. So what do you think? Do you think it's fair for a mom to take on this responsibility on her own and just breastfeed as long as possible and miss out on sleep? Or where are you with the formula and supplementing?
So, first of all, before you can even comment on it, you have to say this. Breastfeeding is a sensitive subject for all people. Just because you're a mother and you gave birth doesn't necessarily mean that your body produces enough milk to feed your baby. You literally can try. You can be shown how to do it the correct way by a lactician. And if your baby doesn't learn how to latch on, or if your body is going through something and it's not producing enough, it's not like a clear bottle where if your baby's drinking it, you can see in the bottle, like how much it drank. You can't see, it's skin. So, you could be thinking like, wow, the baby's been latched on for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour. They're probably full by now. They might be getting nothing. They might be using it as a pacifier. So I don't disagree with the supplementing of the baby's Similac or milk or whatever brand they're using. I don't find that there's anything wrong with that because, like I said, not all mothers, just because they had a baby, are able to. And even, I mean, first of all, not only is it time consuming and you're tired, but it hurts. It's sore. The area is sore, and it's like you sometimes have to use a supplement because it's like having somebody latched onto you is very painful. So I love the fact that they went into this with wanting to make that decision, because I know when I had my children, that was what I wanted. I knew that I wanted to breastfeed my children as long as I could because I knew that it would help with brain development. I knew that they would get the nutrients that they needed. I knew that it would help bounce my body back. But I wasn't producing enough. And my child was not getting enough food. And you'll know because they'll be cranky or they'll be, irritable because they're still hungry. They'll fall asleep because the pacifying motion will put them to sleep, but you can't mistake that for a full belly. I think that the Mimi I think is doing it because she's having the bonding time with the grandbaby. But I agree with Lauren because she was basically saying like, yes, I agree with you, this is what I want, but ultimately this is my body. And she's right. I mean, even though it could be a family decision, it's still ultimately her body, her choice. And I think that everybody is trying to take that away from everybody. The my body, my choice. So, yes, I wholeheartedly agree. I think that if this is something she wants to do, she's not saying that she's opposed. She's not saying she doesn't want to do it. She's clearly just saying that I want to make sure that we do both. And there's nothing wrong with bottle feeding your baby. There's nothing wrong. I was bottle fed. I think that I turned out just fine. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with whatever choice as long as your baby's getting fed.
I just hope that they can come to an agreement because I saw them like fighting with each other and I didn't really see Lorelai and Lauren fight like that, and I hate to see that.
Well, she might be at her wit's end. Every time we turn around, she feels like she's always having to defend her place in the parent role. I mean, it started with her, getting pregnant. The whole thing, her mom was involved in it. So she was constantly, from the start of making this child, feeling like she was in competition for being the parent. So maybe this was just icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm.
She's just desperately trying to find somewhere where she could put her foot down and they respect it. And she probably feels like it's not happening that way. So this she thought they were on board with. And it's another thing that Lisa's trying to, talk to her about. That's probably where the argument came in. Not so much maybe about the formula situation as it is like, you're fighting me again. Like, this is something we said we wanted. So I don't know. Something tells me that this is going to be an ongoing fight with what preschool to go to, what toys to buy, what to wear, all the way to they're 18 years old. So buckle up. It'll be a wild ride.
Okay, so speaking of competition, I want to head over to Tennessee and talk about Ashley, Kathy, and Samantha. So Samantha drops a bomb on us. Well, not before we watch them try to remove Ashley's nipple ring, which they were all unsuccessful, but Samantha saw it as a good way to inflict some pain on her sister. So I get that because I have a brother. I totally get it. Samantha, I get you. But the bomb that she dropped was her job is recalling her to physical in-person work, which she has been working remote for years. Now, she has moved from Tampa to Tennessee, so it's not like she can drive there. And the way her family dynamic works, everyone moved to where she was, and now she's moving back, and her mom, Kathy, is her childcare. So now that she's moving back to Tampa, Kathy has to go, and Ashley is having, I don't even know if it's called anxiety. She's just having a panic attack at the idea that her mom will be in a different state than her. Like, how would you even react to this? First of all, they literally just moved there within the last 2 years, and now they have to move everything back. And Ashley's kids are actually thriving and doing great. So what do you think is going to happen? Can Ashley really be without her mom?
I think this is a really hard decision because either way, somebody's going to be miserable. Even if they decide to all pack up and move together, I don't think Ashley's going to be happy because she found somewhere where she's satisfied. Her children are doing well, like you said. And I come from, a parent that constantly moved a lot. And I know, like, the older I got, the more it hurt me because I felt like I didn't have a place to, like, call my own. I made friends, I fit in. And then before I knew it, we were moving again. So it's like, I understand where she's coming from, where she's like, you know what, my kids are doing good. I don't want to take that away from them if I don't have to. But you have to learn to separate yourself from your mom, because if your mom decides to make the decision to move with her sister, then she's going to have to learn to be like, okay, I really like it in Tennessee. My kids are doing really well. I don't want to move back to Florida. Guess I'll see my mom at holidays because you can't have your cake and eat it too. She's going to go, as in Samantha, she's going to go where her job is if she doesn't find another one. And her mom made the obligation to be the childcare and watch the children. So if she's very adamant about staying with her mom and following her along, she might have to pull her kids and go because she's a work at home. It doesn't really matter where she lives. She'll still, have her job. Whereas in Samantha, she might be like, well, if I lose this job, we're all moving in with you because I need to pay my bills. So this is a really weird and kind of bad situation. The pandemic left a lot of us thinking that remote was going to be permanently. We didn't know what the future held. And a lot of people, my job included, I started to transition back to the office. And it's like, after 2.5 years, you don't know how to act because your life was literally uprooted. You had a completely different way of doing things. And now you're expected to just magically go back like nothing ever happened. So I feel for her. I understand, but her situation is worse than mine because she moved to another state. Yeah. So now it's a matter of having to move back, which nobody wants to do because once you move, you don't ever want to move back. And she has to, uproot her life as well. So I hope the best. I hope that they figure it out. Maybe she can get an exception from her job. They do offer that under special circumstances, just to tie her over until she can find something else.
I hope so too. I hate to see when people are forced to move. Like when you move, it should be because you want to, not because you have to. Especially when you have kids. Those kids are going to leave everything that they've come accustomed to and their friends and their teachers. And normalcy for children is just like oxygen. Like they need that normalcy. And I know for Ashley, Ashley will be like, well, what are you talking about, kids? This is hard for me too. And I understand that, like for her, this is going to be very difficult. Her mom is her best friend. So it's like losing your best friend and you can't see them, you can't talk to them other than on the phone. So I'm hoping that things work out for them for the sake of the family, because they're, even though they're kind of dysfunctional at times, they love each other and they would do anything for each other. They literally live next door to each other. So I want them to stay that close. All right, guys, that's it for part 2. I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. This has been the Smothered Season 4, Episode 9 podcast. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to y'all really soon.